Hi, it's Norman Kochannek here. I'm actually I'm, I'm here talking to the one and only Jeff Thomson. Now Jeff is in a car somewhere in sunny Brisbane. Is it sunny there or is it raining there, Jeff?
It's half sunny. It's supposed to storm again this afternoon.
Okay, typical tropical weather by the sounds of this.
Yeah. So hopefully that might help India either draw the match or whatever. Yeah.
Well, if they draw the match, they effectively win, don't they? Because they're
Yeah,
1-0
that's
at the moment.
what they
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Well, the Border Gavaskar Trophy is based on an incredible tradition. When you played India, when was that, Jeff? Well, that was back in.
Mate, I played between 71 and 85, so we didn't play much at all. Played them in Australia a few times, but I never toured India. Would you believe? There was one tour and I wasn't available at the time for some reason. I don't know.
But you played them in Australia, and you would have played them on the Gabba, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Just tell us about that. I mean, the decks back then, were they equally as bouncy and fast as they are now?
The wickets, it would have been similar to what they're playing on today, I suppose. I haven't played on the Gabba since they've changed it, but
Right.
it used to be, I'd call it a fair cricket wicket. There was nothing scary about it. It was, if you bent your back, you got something out of it. It would turn a little bit. It had okay bounce for spinners. And, you got into bat, you're in,
Right. So, okay, I'll just turn you quickly to the game that's on today. It's in the fifth day. The matches in the balance. India have got to get 327 or 328 to win. There's certainly big cracks there. It's moving up and down, so it's doing a fair bit. Pretty even contest, really, after 4 tests to be 1-1 and come down to the fifth day of the last match for a result, don't you think?
Yeah, well, considering you've got the world's best batsman who isn't playing, he hasn't played the last 3 tests, and to be 1-1 and doing, I think India are doing a lot better than Australia, to tell you the truth. They got sent in, they had the bat last in Sydney, which is always dynamite, and there you got Nathan Lyon, who's supposed to have 400 test wickets. He couldn't have got me out on that wicket the way, I don't know. I mean, that is similar. Him bowling on that wicket on the last day is very similar to me playing on a green top and not getting a wicket. That is a joke. I mean, I'm not putting down Indian batsmen, but I'm putting down his bowling a bit, and they just played him very easily, on a dynamite pitch. If it was the other way around, we would have been bowled out for 150, if you ask me, if we had to bat last on that pitch. And now here they come again, and they got a bat last in this match,
Yeah, exactly.
So they've done pretty well, considering in this match, 3 of your best bowlers aren't playing, quicks. And this other guy's come in and he's done pretty well. Shardul Tulkar's there. He's a guy I taught a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's one of mine from over there. So what I'm saying is they haven't fallen away. What they've done is lifted their game and all done a bit. You know what I mean? They haven't just. It appears to me, they've changed so much that they don't want to lose.
They're showing a lot of guts. A lot of guts, huh? They've got showing a lot of guts.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. With bowling and batting as well.
So you mentioned Virat Kohli before. Just your take on him. I mean, what's your thoughts? Doug Walters had some great thoughts as well, but I want to hear your thoughts on Virat Kohli.
When he first came in years ago, I can't remember when he started now, but when I first saw him over here against the Aussies, I went, I like this kid. He's cheeky. He's just like me. He won't take shit from anyone. And that was back then. I thought this guy's going to be a really good player. I'm not saying that because he obviously is, but he hasn't surprised me in the least of what he's done. He's just kept going and going and going, and he's still, he's just so strong and so determined, what he does.
So you also mentioned Shardul Thakur, that he was one of yours that you brought through. He shows a lot of guts and determination and sort of a bit of that get up and go too.
He got him up to that score. That's right. I mean, he did it with the bat because he didn't really do it with the ball too much. I mean, it was a bit hard for him. He was bowling to Smith, I think, and probably Labuschagne initially. And Smith's a bit awkward for a newcomer. You got to stick to your guns. He'd bowl a couple of balls where he didn't score, and then he'd try something else, and then score. Smith would get a run. Yeah. And that's not what you do. Don't come to them. Let them come to you. Anyway, I still think he went pretty well.
Well, he actually ended up getting 3 wickets in the first innings and 4 in the second, so he did bloody well.
Pretty good on the gather.
Well, and he could well be the player of the match, having scored 67 as well. So the guy's done really well. And maybe it's thanks to you. If you'd had something to do with his upbringing, where was that?
A couple of years ago, I had the IDBI coaching camp in Mumbai, Kerala, and Bangalore. He was involved with that, where we just picked guys out. We used to get roughies as well from that hadn't played and show them how to bowl fast, and show them what you do. I remember watched Shardul. They were playing a Ranji Trophy game in Mumbai at the Wankhede, is it the stadium there, the Test?
Yeah.
I rocked up and they were playing, maybe Bangalore or somebody like that, and they were none. We were bowling, right? And the pitch looked like it had a little bit in it. And we were bowling and they were none for 60, right? And I rocked up and he saw me there. He was bowling. And I'm looking, I thought you could walk out, but with all this study match fixing, they're going, Jeff, so you cannot go there. I went down to go to yell out to him. So here I am in front of a glass window with all these Indian selectors and that behind me, and guys, what's his name? I can't think of their names. A wicket-keeper guy that's involved with Mumbai used to play up.
Right, it's not deep. Not deep.
Anyway, I'm standing there giving him hand signals. He ended up getting 6 for, and we won the match. He bowled him out and all that. And the guys were sitting there looking at me. They said, "How did you do that?" I said, "He just knows what I'm telling him."
Well, that's how good you are. That's how bloody good you are.
Well, I text him here, and say, "Well done, mate," and all that sort of thing. He's on my WhatsApp. Yeah. So are the other boys that I used to train there.
Okay. Did you have anything to do with Natarajan, the left armour that's in there now? No. He swings the ball around, doesn't he? He's got a sharp. He does.
Yeah, he's handy. Yeah.
And
they elbow well. And who was the fella that got the fifer?
Mohammed Siraj.
Yeah. He was the one. He was the one. His dad died, when he arrived here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. No. So they all did pretty well. I mean, especially when you look on the other side of the coin. I mean, Hazelwood got a fifer, didn't he? But the others sort of, I thought were just a bit pedestrian, And I'm not saying it because I'm talking India, but I think they showed us up in the last 2 tests. And if you're rating them right now, from my point of view, I think India are better than Australia. There you go. Especially when you consider Kohli was out. Imagine if we didn't have Smith in there. God,
exactly.
we wouldn't get 150.
Well, the fact is, Jeff, in the first test, the 11 players that played for India, 9 of them weren't in the rest of the series. Only Agarwal came back. They've lost 9 of their first 11. They've only got Rahane and Pujara left.
And you haven't got Ashwin hasn't played either, isn't he the good spinner? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Jadeja. So for Australia, if you take 9 players out of their side, including Smith and all the bowlers,
mate, you'd be watching a club team. Well, you nearly are sometimes now. Anyway, when they bat in the middle order. Yeah,
it's quite incredible. So yeah, that's a great insight. Okay, Rohit Sharma opening. What do you think of him?
Mate, I like him. I like them all the way they bat. They just got so much more skill than our blokes. Our blokes are sort of bat a bit 20-20, not quite as rough as 20-20, but they all they got used to trying to smash the ball and all this. They don't have the finesse of the Indian batsmen. They don't have the wrist play, the footwork and all. The footwork in our blokes is very ordinary, apart from a couple of obvious players, but the rest, they just stand and deliver, and that's not going to work against good bowlers.
No, you're right. I mean, again, on Australia, Bukowski looked pretty damn good last match, but he injured his shoulder. Warner hasn't returned to form with his groin injury. And Australia's batting's pretty brittle. Other than Smith and Labuschagne, they're pretty brittle as well, aren't they?
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
Labuschagne, he got 100 here in Brisbane. He batted pretty well, probably because Warney sledged him. Warney and Andrew Symonds had to go, and maybe they got his back up a little bit. But my jury is still out deliberating on him. But he's probably better than most of the others. You know what I mean? Apart from Smith, you know what I'm saying? But that's not saying too much either.
Just quickly on Payne and his captaincy, he didn't do that well in the Sydney Test, and his batting's been pretty good, not bad. What do you think of him in terms of the next Ashes, for example?
I think his keeping's average. I think his batting's very average, and obviously his behaviour is average as well. Yeah, no, I really mean that. I mean,
I understand.
Sledging people and all that, and that was something I didn't do. You can ask the guys I played against, but his batting, I think, is average, and that other bloke too, the left-handed wicket keeper as well. We got more wicket keepers than we have batsmen. You know what I mean? They're like, if that's the best we can do, we could keep a batsman as a batsman. We are in trouble.
It does seem to be a trend, though. Unfortunately, Jeff, you've got Australia with 2 keepers in the side. England got 3. Sri Lanka's got 2 or 3, and even India, you could argue, had 2 with Saha and Punt. It seems to be a real trend at the moment for teams to have keepers.
Yeah, I don't know why.